Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my unhinged Onyx Storm conspiracy theories that I have come up with after reading Onyx Storm twice, so headed in to the final 2 books of the series. Now, I went down a dark spiral doing this. I became the meme of the guy with the notes and the red lines and everything on the map behind him. That's how my desk and the wall behind my desk looked as I was preparing for these videos. So I recognize some of these series may be out there. Feel free to comment down below. Feel free to come at me with any evidence that you have that I'm absolutely insane. I'm happy to engage in any and all of those discussions. Now, in my last video, I talked about my really crazy theories with Jack that led into my theory about the king's family being potentially descended from Venin. And then my next video coming out on Saturday, I'm going to be talking about all of my thoughts surrounding Violet, Xaden, Sigale, Taryn, the new brother. Obviously, these videos have spoilers, so if you have not read Onyx Storm, click off now. But if you've read Onyx Storm, here we go, because today's video I'm talking about my theories with the Irids, the gods, and geography. So let's get into it. So first off, we finally get Violet's dad's research, and turns out it's really not actually about Feathertails at all. Now, what it is about is the fact that during the Second Krovlovian Uprising, that the isle, whatever mysterious isle it was that was helping them, was wanting dragons. They were wanting Feathertails. Now, when you read that the first time, you sort of think, okay, Feathertails, baby dragons. But as we read on in the book, when we finally meet the Irids, we find out that they are also Feathertails. What if they weren't just wanting baby dragons? What if they were specifically wanting Feathertail Irids? Now, time-wise, this doesn't work out with the Irids being gone, but I think that this is important, that it could be that they specifically wanted those dragons, because we still haven't exactly seen where it is that the Irids live. We know that they have an isle. We haven't been to it. We also know that there is one isle that we have still not been to in the books. Granted, the Irids do say, when Andarna asks them, do you not bond with humans? They say, we don't live with humans. It could be that they live on one part of the island and the humans live on the other. They didn't say that they didn't bond humans. They just said they didn't live with them. And I think that that wordplay is going to be interesting. So I think there's a very strong chance that their isle is actually the Isle of Losum. Now, we know things about various gods in this universe, and we know specifically one thing about Losum, and that is that, like Dune, Losum and Dune are the only 2 gods that require a lifetime of service. Now, Dune is the god of war. What do we know about the Irids? The Irids worship peace, according to Andarna. She says, you will not help us achieve the peace you worship. I think that this is a key, that Losum is the god of peace. Now, when it comes to this theory, it gets me into a bit of the theories with Violet, and I'm going to go off on that tangent in a minute, but bear with me as I talk about the dragons a bit more. Because another important thing is that they view the other 6 dragon breeds as having not learned what they need to yet. So these are dragons that are peaceful dragons. They are pacifist. All 6 of the other dragons, they participate in war. Keep this in mind, it's important. Because when it comes to Dune, there are 6 symbols. And I have to wonder if those 6 symbols are connected to 6 of the gods. Because there are 7 gods, but only 6 symbols with war. More number symbology here. We have the fact that Violet's dad left her 7 tomes. Again, 7 gods. We also have the fact that there are 7 dragon breeds. This is important. If you are someone who has done a lot of literary analysis, number symbology is huge in books. And so the fact that these numbers are coming up again and again are really important. But specifically that we have those 2 gods highlighted, the god of war and the god of what in my opinion is the god of peace. Some people are saying that it's the god of love. I don't think that's it. I think that Amari, queen of the gods, is also the goddess of love. But when it comes to Losum, I think that Losum is the other god that is being referred to when they say that another god is courting Violet. And I think that what is going to end up happening, because I think the gods are going to be way, way bigger in the rest of this story. Whenever you have a 5-book series, book 3 is always a turning point that is going to, you think that the arc is going one way, and then book 3 is where it changes. And because we've been so focused on war and on people and on Venin, the fact that gods were mentioned so much in this book, I think tells us where we're going to be going in the rest of this series. And I think that with these 2 gods specifically, Violet is going to face a choice at some point. And I'm going to get more into the gods and more into that choice when I talk about Violet and Xaden and Terran and Sigale and the new brother in my next video. But keep this in mind because it is extremely important. Because I think that each dragon represents a god. There are also 7 distinct regions. You have Amari, which is the continent. She's queen of the gods. You have the Barrens. I think that the Barrens are actually going to be considered Malik's territory. And that is because it is an area of death. You also have the Bay of Malik and the Dunes River. So you've got the Bay of Malik and the Dunes River. This is what separates the Barrens from the rest of the continent. And so you've got water that segregates it. Also water named after war and named after death. I think that that's the entrance into Malik's territory. Then as we move on, we have Develry, or however it is that you say that. I don't listen to the audiobook because audiobooks put me to sleep. I wish that I could listen to them, but they put me to sleep. There's no gods there. Then we have Umbriel, which is Dune, and that is war. That is obviously one of the gods that is connected to Violet. I think it is also the god that Terran will represent because you have Violet's raw power. You also have Terran being such a powerful dragon. Black dragons in general are seen as very, very powerful. The only dragon who's probably more powerful than Terran is Coda, who is another black dragon. Then we have Hedatus and Hedon, which is wisdom, and that most people can pretty much all agree is going to be representative of the greens. And this, I think personally, is going to be how Mira comes in. Not to diminish Rhea at all. I think that Rhea's an amazing character, but Mira's ability to shield things, I think, is going to be extremely important, because while Rhea's ability to pull stuff is extremely useful, we've seen it be extremely useful, and it's extremely rare signet, so is Mira's shielding ability. And Rhea is a leader, but Violet is clearly going to be the leader because of Terran. And so because of that, I think that Rhea has to be outside of these powerful 6-7 people, because she will be leading other people elsewhere. We then get to Zinal, which is the god of luck. I think that this is probably related to orange dragons. There's a theory that Brennan is related to this because of mending. I think that it's instead going to be Imogen, who also has an orange dragon. Orange dragons, we know, are unpredictable. Rebecca Yarros has also discredited the theory that Brennan is sus because of an orange dragon. She said that Brennan is not sus at all. He's a good guy who did a jerk thing of letting his sisters think that he was dead. So I think it's going to be Imogen because of the second signet that we saw her show with the metal and the rock and all of that, because that is a very, very powerful thing that we have not seen anybody else be able to do. And then of course we have Losum, and that's going to be the Irids representative of Andarna. And so at this point, this is where I'm going to end this video, and we are going to move into the next video, which is going to be out on Saturday, where I am talking about my theories on how the gods and the dragons and everything relate to Xaden and Violet, and where we see these characters going from here. So with that, I'm gonna end this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.